Hi, my name is Maria Unsueta, and I will be presenting my capstone action project today. I live in California, and I've been doing work in the Antelope Valley, which has informed my project, and I work in political campaigns. So the title is Political Power Through Unity, Leveraging Education to Address the Racial Divide Between Black and Brown Communities in California's Antelope Valley, also known as the AV. So in this presentation, we will be reviewing an introduction, the topic and the relevance, the problem being addressed in my capstone, the literature review, a proposed solution, reflections, and the potential impact of the project. We start with the introduction and the context. So the current political landscape in the US is marked by increased polarization, highlighting the need for greater inclusivity and representation, particularly for marginalized communities like Black and Latino populations. Despite their significant contributions, these communities face systemic inequalities deeply rooted in historical and structural factors such as segregation, and socioeconomic disparities. Addressing these issues through enhanced political representation is critical. With its changing demographics, the AV Antelope Valley presents an ideal case for studying how coalition building between Black and Latino communities can enhance their collective political power. The racial divide between Black and Latino communities in the Antelope Valley stems from a combination of historical, social, and economic factors. These divides lead to diminished political influence, making it difficult to advocate for shared interests. This capstone aimed to explore the historical context and current socio-economic conditions of these communities, and by identifying strategies to gain collaboration, the goal is to enhance their collective political power and improve their political representation. So, in terms of the research questions of significance, the project was guided by questions that explore the historical factors contributing to the racial divide, the socioeconomic and educational disparities, and potential strategies for creating unity between the Black and Latino communities in the AV. Understanding and addressing these issues are vital for improving conditions of these groups and enhancing their political representation. The findings from this capstone could serve as a model for other regions facing similar changes, offering actionable strategies to promote racial unity and political empowerment. And this can be applied throughout Los Angeles County, the state, and maybe even the nation. The capstone focuses on the racial divide between Black and Latino communities in the AV, particularly the largest cities in the AV, Lancaster and Palmdale. It's critical, and the issue is critical, rooted in historical marginalization. So, drawing from my firsthand experience in political campaigns in the AV, I've observed how these divides and socioeconomic terms, especially in the AV, where elected representatives tend to be conservative and white, so they're very hardly represented. In other areas, this is an incredibly particular case in California. The capstone was an exploration of how these divisions limit political power and includes exploring ways to bridge the gap for greater collective influence. So Black and Latino communities in the AV face significant socioeconomic disparities, including higher poverty rates and lower educational attainment, as we see in this slide here, compared to their white counterparts. These disparities, exacerbated by underfunded schools and limited resources, perpetuate political and economic mobility or immobility, highlighting the urgent need for systemic change. So in these next few slides, I'll provide an overview of the key themes from the literature review, focusing on historical context, socioeconomic disparities, educational inequalities, and the potential for coalition building between Black and Latino communities. The racial segregation in the US has deep historical roots, with policies like redlining, systemically excluding Black and Latino families from homeownership, and wealth accumulation. This segregation has fragmented these communities, limiting their political and economic power. So today, Black and Latino families are disproportionately concentrated in high poverty neighborhoods, facing significant barriers to accessing quality education, healthcare, employment, and further perpetuating inequality. And here we can see that there is a significant amount of issues where both communities can coalesce for greater political influence. This literature review continued. Review supports the idea, and scholars support the idea that educational inequalities remain a significant barrier to the socioeconomic mobility of Black and Latino communities. Segregated, underfunded schools limit opportunities for higher education, trapping these communities in cycles of poverty. These educational disparities also hinder political engagement, which further contributes to the underrepresentation of Black and Latino voices in political offices. Voter suppression tactics further exacerbate this issue, diminishing the political influence of these communities. Scholars also agree that to overcome political marginalization, Black and Latino communities must build cross-racial alliances. Scholars agree that coalition building is key to increasing their political power and influence. Some strategies for uniting these communities include community organizing, grassroots activism, and building trust by being in each other's physical presence. By working together, these communities can hold elected officials accountable, ensuring that their needs are prioritized in policy decisions and ultimately achieving greater political representation and equity. So the primary objective of this project is to unify Black and Latino communities in the AV, addressing their shared challenges and marginalization. Historical divisions have often weakened their collective political power, but by building strong coalitions, these communities can advocate for more effectively shared interests, resulting in improved socioeconomic outcomes and better representation in local, state, and federal governments. The proposed strategy includes community organizing, educational workshops, and targeted social media campaigns to build this unity. The implementation process begins with community organizing, which is at the foundation of my career, including monthly meetings, relationship mapping, and SWOT analysis of stakeholders to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So this stakeholder group that would come together would be assessed. Educational workshops will be crucial in having mutual understanding, building a good foundation for everyone involved, focusing on the history of Black and Latino relations and strategies for overcoming barriers to unity. For example, highlighting the fact that the Black Panther Party and the United Farm Worker Movement have history in the 60s by uniting under this one collective issue of immigration and fair representation and equal rights. So in this capstone, we propose workshops that will include listening sessions, ensuring that the community members' voices are heard. A targeted social media campaign will amplify these efforts using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to reach a broader audience and keep the community engaged. So if implemented once, one can measure the successes of this initiative by tracking several key metrics, including workshop attendance and feedback, social media engagement, surveys, and political participation like voter registration and voting. The expected outcomes include increased voter turnout, more Black and Latino candidates in local elections, and enhanced political unity. And by achieving these goals, we can create a stronger unified political front in the AV, driving meaningful change and improving conditions for both communities. Reflecting on the project, it became clear that coalition building requires more than just bringing people together. It's about creating a shared vision that resonates with all participants. Understanding the cultural and historical context that shape the relationship between these two communities is crucial. However, challenges such as sustaining long-term engagement and managing the geographical distance of the AV need to be addressed, and incorporating more voices in this can be really important. So moving forward, it's recommended to establish a dedicated stakeholder group responsible for ongoing engagement and follow-up activities. This group could organize regular check-ins and develop a long-term strategic plan with specific goals and milestones for the coalition. Initial outreach to local organizations would include democratic clubs, nonprofits, And future research can focus on conducting studies to assess the long-term impacts of coalition building and political power. Additionally, exploring the role of digital tools, technology, and enhancing community engagement can provide valuable insight for future initiatives throughout the state and across the country. Thank you.